Communicable diseases. In this video we are going to look at Introduction to communicable diseases, types of pathogens, controlling the spread of communicable diseases, herd immunity. Introduction to communicable diseases. Communicable diseases, also sometimes referred to as infectious diseases or transmissible diseases, are illnesses caused by microorganisms such as germs or pathogens. These microorganisms can infect both plants and animals. The spread of communicable diseases occurs through various mechanisms, including direct contact, airborne and waterborne transmissions. These diseases can spread from one person to another in various ways like bodily fluids, insect bites, blood, or air. Illnesses such as cholera can be caused by consuming contaminated water that contains pathogenic bacteria. Similarly, respiratory illnesses like the common cold and influenza can be transmitted through the air. Additionally, shaking hands with an infected person can potentially spread certain diseases, particularly those transmitted through direct contact. When an infected person shakes hands with others, they can transfer viruses or bacteria present on their hands, leading to the transmission of the disease to others. Types of pathogens. A pathogen is defined as any organism or agent capable of causing diseases including viruses, bacteria, fungi and protists. Now let's see all these 4 types of pathogens in detail. Diseases caused by viruses. Viruses are tiny infectious agents that can only replicate inside living cells, meaning they lack the machinery necessary to replicate that the living cells possess. Hence, they must infect a host cell and utilize the host's cellular machinery to replicate. Once inside a host cell, viruses can hijack the cell's biochemical processes to produce more viral components, which can damage the host cells. They have a genome of RNA or DNA, which is housed by a protective protein coat coded by the virus itself. Measles. Measles can be spread through close contact with someone where the infected person can pass viruses to others through their nasal or throat secretions by coughing or sneezing. This can result in the transmission of the infection. Measles typically presents with several symptoms, including fever and red skin rash. It can be fatal if untreated. To prevent measles, the World Health Organization recommends giving children the measles vaccine when they are between 9 and 15 months old. Painkillers can be used to treat the symptoms. HIV. Human immunodeficiency virus. HIV can be transmitted through the exchange of bodily fluids with an infected person, either through sexual contact or through injections of contaminated blood. Common HIV symptoms include flu-like symptoms up to 4 weeks, fever, fatigue, and enlarged lymph nodes in later stages leading to AIDS. To prevent HIV, condoms are highly effective in reducing the risk of HIV transmission during sexual intercourse. Abstinence, abstaining from sexual activity. Using new or stabilized needles. TMV, tobacco mosaic virus. Tobacco mosaic virus is spread through the direct contact of the infected plants with other plants that can spread TMV. It can also spread through animal and plant vectors. The pathogen can remain in the soil for decades. Symptoms of tobacco mosaic virus can include the discoloration of leaves. Reduces the plant's ability to photosynthesize. By removing and destroying plants that show symptoms of TMV infection, we can prevent the virus from spreading to healthier plants. AIDS, acquired immune deficiency syndrome, is a chronic immune system disease. HIV is the cause of AIDS. This virus is spread through sexual intercourse with an infected partner or contact with infected blood. Diseases caused by bacteria. Bacteria are unicellular organisms that live in air, plants, animals, soil, glacier, and water. They can rapidly multiply within living organisms and release toxins that can harm tissues and lead to sickness. Organic poisons, known as toxins, are naturally occurring. They are produced through the metabolic processes of living cells or organisms. Toxins come in the form of small molecules, peptides, or proteins. Salmonella. Salmonella is spread by ingesting the food containing the bacteria. Following are the symptoms of salmonella: fever, abdominal cramps, vomiting, diarrhea. Salmonella can be prevented by cooking all raw meat thoroughly. Vaccinating livestock can be an effective measure to prevent the transmission of salmonella. Gonorrhea. Gonorrhea is a sexually transmitted infection, STI, caused by the bacterium Neisseria gonorrhoeae. It is primarily spread through direct sexual contact. Gonorrhea symptoms can vary, but they often include yellow-green discharge from vagina to penis, pain while urinating. Gonorrhea can be prevented using condoms. It can be treated with antibiotics. Abstinence, not having sex. Diseases caused by fungi. Fungi belong to the category of eukaryotic organisms, and their cells contain a membrane-bound nucleus that houses their genetic material, which is typically in the form of DNA. This distinguishes them from prokaryotes, such as bacteria, which lack a membrane-bound nucleus. Rose black spot. The spread of rose black spot, Diplocarpon rosea, a common fungal disease affecting roses, can occur through various means, including water and wind. The symptoms of rose black spot can include dark or purple spots on the leaves, leaves falling early, leaves turning yellow. Reduces the plant's ability to photosynthesize. The treatment of rose black spot disease often involves a combination of cultural practices, such as removing infected plant material and the application of fungicide. Diseases caused by protists. A protist refers to a unicellular organism that belongs to the kingdom Protista. Examples of protists include protozoans and algae. Malaria is caused by protozoan parasites of the genus Plasmodium. Malaria. Malaria is caused by a single-celled Plasmodium parasite transmitted through an infected mosquito's bite. Symptoms of malaria can include recurrent fever, shivering, chills. Malaria can be prevented and treated through the following ways: mosquito nets, insect repellent cream, prohibiting mosquito vectors breeding, antimalarial medications, controlling the spread of communicable diseases. The transmission of infectious diseases can be reduced by the 4 ways. Hygiene, cooking raw meat thoroughly before consumption, covering nose and mouth when sneezing, keeping open wounds covered by a proper dressing, using sterilizing tablets to purify contaminated water before drinking it, hand washing, disinfecting surfaces and machinery, isolation of infected people, animals and plants will help to prevent the spread of the infection. Vaccination. Vaccines work by introducing a weakened or dead form of the disease-causing pathogen into the body without actually causing the disease. The pathogens used in vaccination contain a specific antigen that might trigger an immune response. Controlling vectors. Destroying or controlling the population of vectors that spreads the disease will reduce the spread. Vectors are living organisms that transmit harmful pathogens from an infected animal to another animal or human. Herd immunity. When a significant percentage of a population is vaccinated against a disease, it creates a safeguard known as herd immunity. It is also called population immunity. Herd immunity is achieved when many individuals in a community become immune to a disease. This makes it less likely for the disease to spread from person to person.